Hello and welcome. I'm Mystical. This is Mystical Gaming, and we are going over the April update content preview. Let's go and have a quick look at it now. First thing we need to know about the April content is it starts in March. March the 27th, Gear Dungeon is open for global server. Now, blurb says Gear Dungeon is a highly difficult challenge mode periodically available with 6 stages in total. So there's 6 levels. Happy with that. Consume energy and dungeon keys. So on the Forerunner server there was 150 dungeon keys, and I think the energy was 20 energy to make a run. So you had to use your keys and the energy to go and enter there. Enter for the chance to earn forge materials to be used towards powerful new gear sets as well as variant gear pieces. Right, so let's unpackage all of that. So in here you can get these new pieces. They can drop from there. You also get the forge materials in there, and we'll go to the forge in a minute so you all know where that is, and then you can get your pieces and you can forge them up. That's not the only place they drop from though. They also drop, they have put them in gear raids 19 and above. So there's gear raid 20 and they're in there. There's gear raid 19, they're in there, and there's stage 21, they're in there. They are not in stage 18. So that's not the only place you can get the materials from on the Forerunner server. Whether that carries over, that would be worth noting. Now, the requirement for doing this or entering it on, again, the Forerunner server, was you had to have completed stages 18 on gear raids 1, 2 and 3. Make sure you've got them done, and you will be able to, I would imagine, complete gear raid or a stage 1 of this and start getting something out of it. So it's not just for Wales. Stage 6, definitely need a high-end account. Stage 1, you should be able to do. Stage 2 probably as well. So that's the requirement for there. Now it says you can get variant gear. Right, let's go and have a look at that. Right, so this is variant gear. It comes as the quality of ancient. So that was my piece, and you get 1 piece as a reward. I can't remember if it's complete in stage 1 or 2. You get it as a reward. So it rolls as it would for a ancient piece. I obviously got crit rate, which is just brilliant, but it comes with this additional stat at the bottom. Increases basic attributes by 5% if not a faction team member, and that's woeful optimism. And there are loads of these different skills at the bottom. I saw a few flash up in chat when it first went live, so we expect to see a load more of them on the 27th. So that's what it is, and it levels up. If you want, you can ascend it as well. So just so you're aware, Night Terror will become Aegis Wrath as normal ascension, but the woeful optimism, which is the variant part of it, will carry over as well, so that can be done. Also in the blurb was gear recasting hammers. They were in the shop last time. You could buy them with points that you get, and ancient mythic gear, you can buy that with points as well. Now, just to bear in mind, if you don't use all your points, it did say last time the points carried over. So if you don't get everything that you want this time round, and this was on a 1-week open, 4-week closing period, you could use them on the next week that it's open. So that's the gear dungeon. That's the gear dungeon. It drops on the 27th, but be aware that you're also going to be in the middle of a limited time fusion event if you're doing that as well. So be careful. New feature, gear identity. Right, let's go and have a look at gear identity. So when you go to your heroes, go to gear, and then down here we've got the foundry piece as per normal, and you've got these normal pieces, but now we've also got the forge and identify. So we'd come over here, you can identify a piece, and that is normally your variant piece, and that will tell you, it just says variant at the beginning. When you identify it, the big flash of lighty type stuff, and it then tells you the stats and everything you've got on it. Head to the foundry to identify unidentified gear you earn from the dungeon or purchase dungeon shop, turn it into variant gear. Yes, that's what happens. It comes through first as unidentified. Variant gear rarity is on par with ancient mythic gear, but has the added bonus of a unique effect or attribute that takes the hero to the next level. The posh phrase of power creep, but there you go. New feature, gear in the forge. So the next piece is the forge over here. You can collect sanguinine fabrics, smouldering scales, Let's extend this or sort the font out. That looks terrible. The N and G there. Don't like it. There and there. You can't go to there because it's not available, but you can get it from other places. Does it say here? Here? No. Here. How many I own, but nothing else. Okay. Gearforge. Right. Okay. There's nothing up there that says where it's obtainable from. So just to bear in mind, these are both obtainable from gear aids 1, 2 and 3. It's not as if the fabric only comes from gear aid 1 because it is the 2-piece stuff, the same as the other 2-piece stuff, and this being your 3-piece set doesn't come from gear aids 2 and 3. They all drop from 1, 2 and 3. Not massively, but they do drop a little bit at a time, so bear that in mind. Arena Defence Team available after the update. 1 split roster. Commanders may assemble their own defence teams in Arena and choose whether or not to enable auto fight for their defence, for their offence and defensive lineups. I don't really do the Arena, to be honest. I have not really got into it or enjoyed it in the game. I don't know whether this is going to change me, but the next bit is a training stage. Arena will offer training stages for your defence teams in anti-air, AoE, single target DPS challenges. Commanders may repeat training stages as many times as necessary to build their defence lineup, and challenge records can be uploaded at the end of the battle. I don't know, maybe that will get me into Arena, maybe. Might actually think about building some teams if I've got something to challenge them against and I can see if they're any good, or just going in there and feels like it's just wasting my time as I'm trying to build a team while I'm doing it. So maybe that will help. Not a big fan of the Arena, to be honest. Right, then lastly, we've got 3 new champions, not including the time limit fusion. We've got that coming as well. There are some new champions turn up in the game. The first champion we've got is from the Cursed Cult Lord. There she is. Abyzou? I've got no idea. I'm just butchering that name. Right, max out. A little 3k attack, not bad I don't think for a mage. Multi-target, continuous damage, yada yada yada, and she looks absolutely, I'd say brilliant or mental. I'm not too sure which way to go with that. Look at that. Do like the skull. Obviously you need arms that have had the flesh flayed from them. You need those. Always got to keep those on you. You're lucky they're arms. Yeah, brilliant job there. She looks fantastic. Right, what does she do? Restores 15 rage when an enemy dies in target. This effect can be triggered 1 time every half a second. So 30 rage a second if people are dying. Seems good. AoE, magic damage, base attack, deals 100% damage AoE to up to 5 enemies. Absolutely fine. They say she's going to be good for Gear Raid 1. Okay. Here's her ultimate. It's an auto cast at 700, deals 100% damage 3 times, up to 10 enemies in range. Every 1 target hit grants 1 stack of Psych Force to the hero. What's Psych Force? 15 seconds. 12 seconds Psych Force lasts for, and each stack increases attack up to 3%, up to 10 stacks. Okay, you can get an extra 30% attack. That all seems good. That's 700. She's gaining what? 30 rage. Where is it? There, isn't it? Her talent stores 30 rage a second if she's killing people. So 3700, 21-ish, just over 21 seconds. Just on the talent. So whatever rage regen or auto rage regen she's got would also add to that. So at the most, 22 seconds and a bit, isn't it? Yeah. Passive. When the hero has Psych Force and hits an enemy with a basic attack, it generates ground effect area, which deals 10% damage per second for 3 seconds. Airborne units take half damage instead. Right, that's fairly normal. He looks good. Looks good. And she's a Lord. Epic Lord increases team allies attributes by 10%, increases faction team damage to enemies inflicted with stun, freeze, immobilizing state and other controlling effects by 20%. I think she'd be good by herself, but I would definitely chuck in my free greed, and I think her and greed can do great things in Gear Aid 1. I think that would open it up for you quite a lot. What are awakenings like? Awaken 1, when there is more than one target in range, well, okay. The hero's basic attack has a 25% chance to launch an extra ball of energy. 5% attack, meh. The ultimate inflicts magic. Resistance reduction. Okay, so how much does that take in? Last 10 seconds and it's 15%. Okay, that's nice. Not too shabby there. Crit rate +8, that's a nothing thing. I think you're going to build her with 100% crit rate, and the extra 8 is going to make no difference to you. Increases damage dealt by 20% for 10 seconds when a target dies in range. Oof. It's got a lot of damage increases. I want an attack increases. It'd be quite nice to test her out and actually see this psych adds on her pre or post deployment attack. Yeah, good hero, I think, and it's nice to see epics coming into the game. Now, the last thing to note about this hero is right at the tips there, they've put down this Epic Cultist Lord. It will be available through a Shard Summon event starting on the 19th of April. Now, the one we've got starting in a few days, that will finish on the 8th. There is a 11-day window there where we've got a rest to build up your resources, that sort of thing. And then we're into this Shard Summon event. So bear in mind, we do all get her. Next one coming in, we've got someone added to the archers. Here she is, Esme. Basic attack has 50% chance of bouncing to one extra target and has a 30% chance of inflicting poison. Poison's always good. Yeah, it deals continuous true damage equal to 1% of the target's match AP, stacks up to 3 times. Now, she's looking much more like she's going to be useful in Gear Aid 3, doesn't she? It says Gear Aid 3 for this, and it also says the Arbiter of Frost. So whether we're getting the Arbiter of Frost come round again sometime next month, I don't know. Be interesting to see. So, basic attack. Deals 100% damage to one enemy prior to his airborne units first. Okay. Very Gear 83, but there we go. When activated, it increases damage by 45%, and each basic attack lands 2 consecutive strikes instead of the second strike would be a attack to a random enemy. When the hero's basic attack kills a target inflicted with poison, deals 60% AoE damage to up to 5 targets. Okay, so she's going to be good on the left. Well, she'll probably be good anyway. Definitely good on the left hand side. I don't know whether she'd be good to take the boss down. Or should be good if you put her at the front just for the boss, taking down the poisons. We'll have to look into it. We'll have a little play around and see. Esme's Awaken. Venomous Rupture inflicts stun upon enemies. That's good then, isn't it? So that AoE will go out, boom, and stun them. Here's looking good. Crit rate 5%, nice. Increases chance of basic attack to bounce by 25%. Yeah, fine. Penetration 5%, brilliant. Increases crit rate of basic attack by 50% against targets. What's the point in that? That's a useless A5. You're going to build them with 100% crit rate anyway, not rely on getting poison on them and then thinking I don't have to build it. You're going to build them with 100% crit rate. Their awakenings don't look as good as the skill set she's got. I think the skill set is interesting, should be fine on the left hand side, dealing with the AoE mobs, so you don't have to have Maul over there, you can use Maul for somewhere else. She's Piercer, so she can get the Lord skill, that's all fantastic. She drops poisons, which would be interesting to see if she does a boss. And this skill, when the hero's basic attack kills an enemy afflicted by poison, deals AoE damage. That AoE damage, with her Awakening 1, is going to stun targets. I think that is really well put together. A1 is awesome. He looks awesome, doesn't he? Look at this. Hey, looks fantastic. Can't keep you in the picture. Yeah, looks really good. Yeah. Jorge, right. Talent. Damage scales off defense. That's interesting. There is a 30% chance of inflicting 5-second plague on the damage dealer. When receiving damage from ground units, the trigger chance increases as the hero's current HP decreases up to a maximum of 60. Okay, what does Plague do? Deals 25% AoE magic damage to the inflicted and up to 10 enemies around them. Right. Deals 100% magic damage to one enemy. That's what he's going to do. Then his ultimate autocast, when triggered, increases defense by 40%. Inflicts plague on all targets blocked by the hero. And increases the damage of plague on all targets in range by 30%, lasting for 8 seconds. During the ultimate, after plague deals damage 5 times to a target, it will spread to the target up to 1 more targets. Okay. Plague inflicted through spreading can't be spread again. Right, so if you spread it to one person, they can't then spread it. Cannot be spread again and will not spread to... Okay, so it can't spread back to someone who's already got it. But also the flip side of that is it doesn't... An infected person doesn't spread it. It seems a nice... In fact, I don't know the damage of plague. That's an issue. And we don't know if you're going to hit because your damage just scales off defense. You don't do AoE damage yourself. It says he's going to be... In the blurb, it says he's going to be good for Gear Raid 1 and for Immortal Codex. Well, I get sort of the Immortal Codex side of it with a defensive champion, but I don't see how, unless Plague is dealing substantial amount of damage, I just don't see how he's going to be dealing, how he's going to be useful in Gear Raid 1. Can you put him on this side, on the behind the wall, reaching over it? Will he plague everyone there? For champions, you can put in front and heal them up, fighters, and they can get a massive amount of damage done. But I just don't. Maybe he does smack like a truck. Maybe Plague does massive amounts of damage, but just don't see it. Awaken 1. Targets inflicted Plague will also be inflicted with damage reduction. Okay, that's good. I mean, they're starting to think about this. As a tank, you do want people for hitting you for less. Defense plus 100. During the ultimate, the hero's block increases by 1, so therefore he can infect more people. All damage reductions plus 8. Then finally, A5. When taking damage exceeding 30% of max HP from a single hit, gains damage increase and physical damage reduction. Okay. He's got the damage reduction there, 30%. And I suppose he's infected them with damage reduction while he has a damage increase. Okay. This effect can be triggered 1 time every 25 seconds. I mean, he does seem good, but I'm just not sold on him, to be honest. Will his damage be defensive, and is this done off attack? I don't know, he just seems a bit... I'd like him to be really, really good. I really would. I'd like him to be fantastic. Love the look of him. Love the idea they're going for. Absolutely brilliant to have a defender for Gear Raid 1 who's making this AoE damage. Awesome, awesome thought. I mean, maybe we'll play test and see what happens, but I'm just not 100% sold. There are new heroes out. Everything seems to be dropping for the 27th. So I think pretty good. Pretty good. I like the new heroes. I like the fact they're dropping epics into the game. I think that's really nice. It's good to see more epics in the game. Hopefully we'll have loads more epics in the game. And we may even get 2 times events on epics. They don't all have to be brilliant. I mean, a lot of them aren't. They don't all have to be greed. Esme, I think she's going to be good. I think the woman with the carrying around the spare hands is going to be good. And I've got a funny feeling I'm going to be disappointed by the defender. But it would be nice to see. It's nice to see their idea on it. And it's nice to see them trying new things. I think that's a good thing. But we'll see how it actually goes. Okay, that will do it for today. Thank you very much for your time. Cheers for turning up. If you could leave me a thumbs up and subscribe, that would be helpful as we're slowly getting there. And I'll see you all on the video again soon. Cheers then. Goodbye.